Hello and welcome to another edition of Capper Comparison Picks. I'm Ranj. Today I'll be giving you the Capper Comparison Picks for UFC Vegas 57 early prelims. But before I get into this card, I want to quickly go over how I did last week. Fairly well, I must say. Actually, I only got 3 wrong. 10-3 last week. I got the 2 female fights wrong with the upsets, with the unproven females. You can't trust female fights. And then I got the main event wrong. But I'll go through really quickly. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but let me brag a little bit, all right? So, opening up, I picked Roman Dolidze. I picked him by decision, but he got the TKO round 1. Started off great. Then I picked Phil Hawes. Also, I said decision, but that was my mistake. I should have realized what was written on the paper and took TKO because he took care of Duran Win. Oh, I felt bad for Duran Win. I felt bad. They should have stopped that much earlier, but TKO round 2 for Phil Hawes. Then I had Cody Stamann. Again, I went decision. I don't know why I'm giving these guys credit, but another TKO. Yeah, TKO for Cody Stamann as well. So all green there, right there. That 3-legger paid out. All 3. Boom, 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 boom. I didn't cash the props though, but still, I did cash the parlay. Then I had the wrong pick with Gloria. I picked Gloria DePaula. Who would have known Maria Oliveira was going to win a split decision? I argue it could be robbery, but I should have saw it coming. She's loves the media. She's very attractive, very pretty. I should have saw. I don't know, but so I lost that one. Moving on, Ricardo Ramos got a TKO in round 1. Also, I guess this beat a record, like the most knockouts on a UFC fight night or UFC fight card or something. I do believe, because I remember when it was getting up there, like right up before the main event, they're like, or no, it was right before feature fight, the main card or something. They were, I don't know, but I know there was a record amount of knockouts this card. After Ricardo Ramos took out Danny Chavez, Jeremiah Wells got the knockout over Court McGee. So those 3, that card, that show, I went 2-1, unreal. But 2-1, so not bad there. Then this one, this is what cost me the most. I had Jasmine Jasudavicius in so many parlays. The face-offs, I thought she was, I thought she won the face-offs. I thought that Natalia Silva was shook because Jasmine Jasudavicius came out there and she was very confident, and Natalia looked a little nervous, to be honest with you, in the face-offs. But nonetheless, Natalia Silva got unanimous decision. She got the nod from the judges, so congratulations, Natalia Silva. You don't have to become a ring girl. She's pretty enough to be, though. What do you got, mini pom-pom? So I got that one wrong. As I said, the 2 female fights I got wrong. Next, I took Adrian Yanez to beat Tony Kelly. He came through. TKO again, round 1. He said it was the most satisfying victory in his entire fighting career because he does not like Tony Kelly on a personal level. So good for Adrian Yanez. Then I correctly chose Gregory Rodriguez. And he took, again, TKO, round 1 for RoboCop over Julian, the Cuban Missile Crisis, Marquez. So I picked that one correctly. Moving on. Then here we go. Here's big money cash payout. Damir Ismagulov. I picked him by decision over Guillermo Kutateladze. And how'd he win? By decision. Finally, I cashed a prop. Then I had a Joaquin Buckley. I had said TKO, and thankfully it did get stopped, and it was considered TKO. I think it was stopped. It says 10 seconds of the third round, but I don't. Did he even come out for the third round? See, I was at a graduation party, so I was like low key watching it on my phone as I'm talking to, like, you know, people I haven't seen in a decade. But at the same time, you keep checking the fights, and
It's not a decade.
10 years. There's some of those people at that graduation party I didn't see for 10 years.
Well, I went to a party with you, and I saw the same people you saw.
Well, you didn't go to the party with me on Saturday.
Most of this.
So anyway, Jaqueen Buckley, TKO, I guess round 3. Thankfully, I didn't bet round, I just bet him by TKO. I hardly ever bet round, unless I'm like, if I feel strongly about a round, I usually don't do the over-unders. I'm not good with that. Then I picked Kevin Holland. I didn't pick him by submission, but he did get the submission. I picked him by TKO. So I didn't cash the prop, but I did cash the 3-leg parlay on that sucker as well. Bing, 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 all green there, if you can't see it. Kevin Holland got the TKO over Tim Means. That was the one that broke the record because Donald Cerrone, Joe Lauzon, his knee locked up after he weighed in and everything. He couldn't fight and whatever. So, and I had him on a lot of parlays, but it didn't happen. And then finally, I said it in my live stream. I said, man, I'm picking Calvin Kattar, but I would not be surprised if Josh Emmett won because he's a hard hitter, very hard strikes. And I'm not going to bet on it, and I didn't. But thankfully, Josh Emmett, he got decision victory over Calvin Kattar in a close fight, but he deservedly won that. And I foresee him. I don't know. I'm going to see him. I think I'm going to see him go right up the rankings. We'll see who he fights next. It's hard to tell. So overall, 10-3 on the night. Not a bad night indeed. Very good. Now let's get into UFC Vegas 57. Can you put this on my keyboard over there? Thank you, sweetie.
You're welcome.
Okay. Opening up this card, we have a female fight. Man, I see what the cameras are saying about these female fights. They really could. As you saw last week, they could go either way, all of them. It's up unless it's like a championship fight. And even still, the Valentina Shevchenko fight, the last one, that could have went Tecia Torres' way. So anyway, we have opening up with a strawweight fight between Jinh Frey and Vanessa Little Monster Demopolis. Jinh Frey comes in with a record of 11-6. She is the pretty sizable favorite, minus 275. Opened up at minus 315. By the way, these odds are from last night. That's when I was going to do the show, but then I was like, looked at my watch and I was like, it's kind of late, so I didn't. But these odds are from BetOnline last night, so they could have moved a little bit. But Jinh Frey comes in as a favorite, minus 275, against Vanessa Lil Monster Demopolis, the stripper pole black belt. She does, on her Instagram, she's very good. She has a stripper pole in her apartment or her house. I don't know if she rents, owns, whatever. But she has a stripper pole right off her living room. And it's on her Instagram, and she's pretty phenomenal with it. She can hold that pole like with one leg, and I don't know. She's just, it's actually kind of impressive. I noticed she also had Lupi Godinez come to her house and do a mess around on the pole a little bit. That was interesting. Lupi Godinez did beat her in the past. All right, so let's get into this fight. Jinh Frey is 37 to Vanessa Demopolis is 33, so a little bit older there for Jinh Frey, but I think it's wisdom there. Wisdom comes with age there in that case. Jinh Frey training out of Fortis MMA, and she has her and her husband, Douglas Frey. They own Cruise Combat and Frey MMA. It's all like the same deal. That's in Texas. I think it's in the same it's like Dallas Fort Worth area, just like Fortis. So I think Jinh Frey bounces around from. I know she does Saturday mornings with her husband at Cruise Combat every single Saturday, and then I think throughout the week she does visit Fortis a lot because there's shows she does. She's been working with Sam Hughes and Macy Chazon in Fortis. I learned this all off her Instagram. She's put some posts up. Saif Sayoud is definitely been giving her some good coaching there. Jinh Frey was a 2-time Invicta champ, but it was at atomweight. And you know what was awesome about that Jinh Frey's Instagram? It showed she was like atomweight life, and it showed her like emaciated, like too skinny. And then she put another post that said strawweight life, and it showed like cutting steak and a thicker, stronger Jinh Frey. I think she's gonna fare well. I mean, before she was always like, because she come from atomweight. In her past fight, she was always like the smaller girl. But I think she's really filled into this 115-pound frame now. I think she's healthier and better at 115. She's 3-2 in her last 5, coming off a win against Ashley Yoder by unanimous decision. Before that, she beat Gloria DePaula, unanimous decision. Before that is when she took her 2 losses. One to Lumalup Bunmi, unanimous decision, and a loss to Kay Hansen by a triangle armbar in round 3. That was her UFC debut. Before that, as I mentioned, she was a 2-time Invicta champ, and she had a win over Ashley Cummings in her last fight in Invicta. She's got a 3-inch reach advantage and a 1-inch height advantage over Vanessa Demopoulos. Let's talk about Vanessa Demopoulos now. As I mentioned, she is a stripper pole black belt, self-proclaimed. I'm not saying it. It's on her Instagram, stripper pole black belt. She is training out of Fight Ready with dudes, AJ Reese and a guy named Chance IK. Definitely looking good, and she shows a little bit of training video, just snippets and stuff, but she's looking pretty ready for this fight. I don't know, it's female fight. Plus money on Vanessa Demopoulos. She's 7-4. I gotta turn that down a little bit. Speaking over it. Vanessa Demopoulos is coming off a nice win over Silvana Gomez Juarez, where didn't she win and she won in Singapore against was it the one against Liang Na? No. Yeah, was it Liang Na or the other, or the Ramona Pascual? One of those. She beat one of those girls. I forget. I've been doing horrible with female fights lately. I know I picked against her and she took my money. So before that, Vanessa had her UFC debut where she lost to JJ Aldrich, unanimous decision. And before that, she was in LFA where she had a mixed record. She lost, she beat Cynthia Arceo in first round, 37 seconds in the first round. Very good TKO there. Before that, she lost to her friend, Lupita Godinez, majority decision. And as I mentioned, Lupi came to her house and did a little spin on the pole. It's fun stuff. She lost a Contender Series fight to Corey McKenna out of Britain. Corey McKenna, not that great as of lately. And interesting enough, she has a win over in the LFA back in the day over Sam Hughes, triangle choke round 4. Sam Hughes been working with Jinh Frey here, so Sam Hughes does have a little bit of background, been in the ring with Vanessa Demopoulos. And if you want to go back to her amateur days, Vanessa Demopoulos beat our girl Cheyenne Vlismus. JP Bays is on this card. He was supposed to be on the card last week, but because Roman Dolidze was on the card last week, they sensibly, UFC, moved him off the card, off the Austin card, and put him on Vegas. A good move there. But yeah, interesting enough, Vanessa Demopoulos does have a amateur win in 2017, not that long ago, against Cheyenne Flismus, where she beat her. She was gone with an elbow injury, took her out. Also, aside from Lupi Godinez, she is also good friends with Tabitha Ricci. That's a nice friend to have. That stuff all gathered from her Instagram. And as I mentioned, she used to train out of Black House, but now she is out of Fight Ready over there, toning on her skills with, I said, AJ Reese and this guy named Chance Akai. I don't know. I think they're Chance Akai. I think he's got a fight coming up in maybe a lesser promotion. I don't know which one it is. I forget. But anyway, Vanessa Demopoulos looking good in training. Jinh Frey also looking good. Married to her coach and former fighter Douglas Frey. So I don't know, man. Coin flip here. Coin flip. Let's see what the cappers have to say. Maybe they can convince me one way or the other. Taking the favorite in Jinh Frey, we've got Angelo from We Want Picks. You got it, Nor. And Angelo is saying decision for Jinh Frey. I don't see why Jinh Frey is such a wide line. I mean, minus 275. I understand. I guess she's definitely. I would say she's better striking, but Vanessa Demopoulos is strong in the ground game. Her ground game. She does have submission victories there. Then we've got it's your boy eBay's. eBay's also on Jinh Frey. We've got Dev, the dude, and Cell, the red, both taking Jinh Frey. We have Vlad, the Bulgarian cowboy from UFC Celebrities and Classics, Nora's favorite handicapper, right? And his original bet is fight to start round 3. Well, I mean, over 2.5 is minus 220, so it'll probably go to decision, Vlad. Vlad loves doing those chalky calls. They're easy victories. And then we get Bert, MMA, and he's also saying by decision for Jinh Frey, making this a full capper consensus. Nora, will you go and tell them what the full capper consensus is, please?
I have to.
You do have to.
I have to.
What, do you got chocolate on your chin?
She probably does.
All right, tell them.
Full capper consensus. But all the handicappers pick one side of the whiteboard.
And in this case, they're picking Jinh Frey, the Korean American, to beat the Greek American Vanessa Demopoulos. There you go, throwing big good luck pearls. You're a fastball those good luck pearls. There you go. Overhand pitches, not even softball. All right. Anyway, I guess I'll go with the capper consensus here. I mean, like, I haven't been doing so hot in female fights, but I think Jinh Frey should get it. She's got a little bit better veteran experience. I think if it does go to the ground, Jinh Frey, like I mentioned, she does a lot of hours rolling around at Cruise Combat with her husband, Douglas, where Demopolis, she does have some, that's her strength is the jiu-jitsu, but I think Frey's jiu-jitsu is just probably equal. You know, I don't know who's better. On the feet, Frey will be the better fighter. And as I mentioned earlier, Frey has really come into her straw weight, her 115-pound frame now. She doesn't have to starve herself to make atom weight anymore. She's in the UFC now. I know she was 2-time atom weight champ, but she's coming around to the strawweight, which I like. Looking good at strawweight too. Eating steaks, not starving herself. Filled out, looking good. Demopolis looking good on that stripper pole, but stripper pole dancing is not the same as rolling around BJJ on the mat every Saturday. She can do the stripper pole as much as she wants. How's that going to help her? I know it's going to help her stay physically fit as athletic, but not in a fight. Whereas in jiu-jitsu, rolling around and striking, and her and her husband Douglas, I seen the Instagram. He'll put it in. She'll be hitting the pads and slip and hit him in the jaw, whatever. He'll just walk away, shake it off, and come back. And she'll be laughing at him, Jinh Frey. That's cute. I like it. But I'm going to take Jinh Frey here by decision. It is a female fight, so should go to the decision. Aside from this parlay here, I probably won't put anything on it. I've learned my lesson with Jasmine Jasudavicius last week to not parlay. I don't care what the face-offs look like or not. I wish if I didn't put her in so many parlays, I would have made bank. I did still make some decent money, but I would have made so much more if Jinh Frey had won. I mean Jasmine Jasudavicius. All right, moving on. What do we got here, Nora? What are you doing? Oh, all right, beat it. Moving on. Next we have bantamweight fight between Mario Bautista and Brian Boom Kelleher. This is going to be a good fight as well. We got youth and athleticism versus experience and veteran knowledge. Mario Bautista comes in with a record of 9-2. He is a slight favorite, -164 favorite for Bautista. And he's taking on Brian Boom Kelleher. 24-13. I don't like the double-digit losses, but I do like the experience for Brian Kelleher. Brian Kelleher comes in at +144, plus my underdog here. Their ages, as I mentioned, there is a pretty wide gap in age. We got Bautista, not 30 yet, he's 28. Brian Kelleher is 35. Oh, excuse me. Let's talk about, and also Mario Bautista has a 3-inch height and 5-inch reach advantage over Brian Kelleher. Now let's talk about the favorite in Mario Bautista. Mario Bautista is coming off a win against Jay Perrin, unanimous decision. Before that, he lost to Trevin Jones, ground and pound, in 40 seconds of round 2. Not a good look there, but what are you going to do? He did beat Miles Johns, flying knee to ground and pound in round 2. A very good look there. Prior to that, he beat Jinsu San, unanimous decision. And his UFC debut was a loss to Corey Sandhagen by armbar in round 1. But you could chalk that up to being his UFC debut. Probably got jitters. And Corey Sandhagen's a good fighter, so no shame in that loss. So he's 3-2 in his last 5, not bad. Training out of MMA Lab. Now these killers at MMA Lab, let me tell you right now, a lot of activity going on there. Let me tell you 3 people from MMA Lab that are all fighting July 2nd in UFC 276. Jared Cannonier taking on Israel Adesanya, as you all know. Sean O'Malley, also MMA Lab, taking on Pedro Munhoz. And Brian Bam Bam Barberena. I don't think he's at MMA Lab anymore, but Tabology has him listed there. And he is also on the July 2nd UFC 276 card, taking on Robbie Lawler. Interesting. But I did check Mario Bautista's Instagram, and he's been training. And this was like literally 3 days ago. He put a post up and he showed he's been training with all LFA bantamweight champ Richard Palencia and up and coming prospect Antoine Ho and Betch Cantu and Marcus McGee. All those guys are like LFA, I do believe. and they're all like decent LFA fighters. Like the one is a bantamweight champ there, that Palencia. So Mario Bautista's been putting it in over at Glory MMA. I'm sorry, at MMA Lab. My bad. Ooh, bad mistake there. My bad. But let's talk about Brian Boom Kelleher. Brian Kelleher. He's coming off a loss to Umar Nurmagomedov. Rear naked choke round 1. That's Umar. He's a Nurmagomedov. You know, he's one of a few that you can't just name alone. He gets propped up there. Okay, before that he beat Kevin Kroom unanimous decision. He beat Domingo Pilarte unanimous decision. He lost to Ricky Simone. Ricky Simone's ranked top 15 guy, definitely. Unanimous decision. And before that, he beat Ray Rodriguez. Guillotine, 39 seconds of round 1. Brian Kelleher can pull that guillotine out of his back pocket at any time. He's quick with it. That's his go-to. When he's in a bind, and when he sees the opportunity, he'll snatch that neck and get the guillotine. Now, he's training out of Long Island MMA with his coach, Chris Wade. Chris Wade has a PFL fight coming this Friday. This Friday before Brian Kelleher fights on Saturday. Chris Wade will be in the PFL. I'm going to put money on him too. He's taking on Kyle Balkniak. I don't know if he's probably going to be a favorite. I'm not sure what the odds are there at PFL, but I will be placing a bet on Chris Wade. Other guys are Gregor Gillespie and Dennis Bermudez that train out of Long Island MMA. Very good facility down there on the island. I checked out his Instagram, but it's kind of, no pictures of him training. His most recent picture, he's like promoting CBD oil. Okay, it's like weird. He's like just a picture of him showing the CBD oil, and he's wrapped up in like winter clothing. And somebody in the comments like, dude, it's 80 degrees out, and he's like, cutting weight, son, or something like that, cutting weight, obviously for this fight. Then the picture before that shows him sitting on the porch, and it says porch, like have mad porch game or something, just sitting there on a porch with his drinking water bottle, and he's got the UFC hat on, just shades, and just sitting there. Shows no pictures of him training, which is kind of, but I mean, maybe he just doesn't want to display. I don't know if he's been putting it in or not. But Mario Bautista, on the other hand, definitely showing pictures, post-training pictures with him and the people he's been training with. Brian Kelleher, I have no idea. It shows a picture of him in CBD oil, him sitting on the porch, just random pictures like that. I think he got married somewhat recently, because there's he's got a wedding picture, I think, and a lot of congratulations and stuff. So that might have happened in the past 6 months or something. I have no idea, really. I didn't spend too much time at his Instagram page, but I did peek at it. Okay, so interesting fight here between Mario Bautista, tail of the tape winner here, because he's got the youth, he's got the height, he's got the reach, and he's going to be the better cardio you got to imagine as well. Kelleher, though, look at 24-13, got 37 fights in. That's a ton of experience. He's seen it all. Bautista's only 9-2, and his UFC debut was 5 fights ago. So I don't know. It's just tough to say here. But let's see what the cappers have to say in this one between Brian Kelleher and Mario Bautista. Taking the favorite in Mario Bautista, we've got Burt MMA. The young man Burt is saying Bautista should win a decision. Then jump over on the Brian Kelleher side. We've got Dev and Sal both taking boom. Brian Kelleher. I like it. I'm a fan of Brian Kelleher. I do like him, but 35, man, at bantamweight. That's a red flag. When you're over 30 at flyweight, bantamweight, you got to start considering your cardio because the younger guys are going to be faster. They're going to have better cardio. But Brian Kelleher does have power in his hands. He's got that guillotine at any time, and I would say he's somewhat durable, right? Then we've got taking Mario Bautista. We've got Vlad from Celebrities and Classics. Of course, fight to start round 3. Again, the over 2.5 is minus 135. So, but that at least is not as chalky as the girl fight. But still, his original pick is this fight starts round 3. Here he's taking Mario Bautista. Then jump back over here. We've got Angelo from We Want Picks. Last week, Angelo and I are the only ones that took, and the Capital Comparison Show, the only ones taking Roman Dolidze. People in the comments were like, oh, you're making a mistake. Roman Dolidze is gonna, Kyle Dawkins is gonna house him and everything. I'm like, I don't know, man. Told you Kyle Dawkins started out in his basement. Roman Dolidze started out in ADCC and all these grappling tournaments. But anyways, leave that in the past. That was in the past. Now we're talking about this fight. Then finally, for the tiebreaker, we've got it's your boy Ebays, and Ebays is on the side of the youth in Mario Bautista. He's taking Mario Bautista by decision to get the win over Brian Kelleher. So this one, man, I'm still somewhat on the fence, but I'm gonna have to go with the guy that's definitely been putting in work over at MMA Lab, and it's been shown on his Instagram where Brian Kelleher has been sitting in his car with winter clothes on in the middle of June, sucking weight in his car, talking about CBD oil. So that, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of okay. Hey, whatever works for you, buddy. But I'm gonna go with Mario Bautista here. I think he's got every tail of the tape advantage, and I think he's gonna have better cardio. I think Brian Kelleher will last. I think he's durable to not get finished by Bautista, but I'm gonna take Bautista to get it done by decision. So there you have that. Moving on. Finally finished this show off. We have the return of JP Bays. As I mentioned, he was supposed to fight last week, but then we didn't want a Springer show there, so UFC thankfully managed to move it to this week, and JP Bays is taking on another drama guy in Cody Durden. Remember that Cody Durden had a win over Aorchi Lang, where he said you can go back to where you came from because he's from China. That was a lot of sensitivity now. You got to watch what you say. Look what Tony Kelly said, dirty Brazilian, all of a sudden the world hates him. Cody Durden said, go back to where you came from. I'm going to send you back to where you came from. And then he said something like, well, my family's going to eat. And so, you know, it's a fight. He's punching me, I'm punching him. It's a fight. And you know, he wants to feed his family, I want to feed mine. Well, tonight my family eats. You know, he's just like he's rough around the edges, Cody Durden. Construction worker. I'll tell you, I'm going to get into it because first let's talk about the favorites in JP Buys. Okay, then we'll get into Cody Durden. JP Buys, training out of Extreme Couture in Vegas. Vegas living, Vegas life. That's why he's been on his Instagram. I think he did have some heartbreak. I could tell just from his pictures on Instagram. He did have heartbreak with the Cheyenne Bays, his wife cheating on him and changing her name back to Vlismus. And I was looking through, and he still has a picture of him after his loss to Montel.
Okay,
was it?
What would you like for
Montel Jackson. He's got a picture of him next to her and the coaches or something, and
Tell me about
said lost another tough one, and he did.
Okay.
His most recent loss is to Montel Jackson. But he was short notice, jumping up a weight class. He jumped up to 145 to fight that guy, and he went to unanimous decision. So you got to hand it to the guy. He did take the L, but it was an honorable L. It's not like he got finished, and he did fill in short notice, jumping up a weight class. So against all odds, and he just came up short. Before that, he had his UFC debut where Bruno Silva, counter right, round 2, took him out uncomfortably. Sorry, JP. But prior to that, Contender Series, he had a guillotine over Jacob Silva. Probably is one of his best wins. Before that, he was an LFA guy where he beat Christian Rodriguez ground and pound round 1. And before that, he was in EFC, that's the South African regional scene, where he beat this guy. He had like a rivalry with this guy named Luthan Biko or Biko or something. But that guy, it was like a rematch. That guy beat him years ago, and then it was a rematch, and JP Bays got the ground and pound round 4 to win the EFC championship. As I mentioned, South African regional scene. Not the best, but you know, it is what it is. I'm not sure who he's training with, but he is training because I see him. He has pictures of just him, but he's sweaty, and he's going with he's got the slogan, like it says, fall, rise, overcome. So I think that means in his personal life and his fight life, you know, kill or be killed. And that's how he fights. He's like, he goes out there to kill or be killed. Now I think that's ingrained in his head. He's gotta kill or be killed. He's pretty much, his back is against the wall here. He's got to win. He's coming in. I think he's got off his winless in the UFC, 0-2. So he's got to come out here. He does have a training picture with Mads Burnell, but that was 18 weeks ago. So that was, that's 3-4 months. No, it's like, 4 months ago. So, February or March that was. So anyway, JP Bays. Let's talk about his opponent, Cody Durden. Cody Durden, no drama in his life. You know, he had that comment, that sensitivity comment against Archie Lang. But, okay, most recently he lost to Muhammad Mokaev by guillotine in round 1. That was over in, I think that was a London card. But Mokaev is very good. He's a up-and-coming prospect. Out of Russia in London now. And Mokaev got the guillotine in round 1 against Cody Durden. He was a heavy favorite. It was kind of expected. Before that, he had the unanimous decision win over Archie Lang, where he did say send him back home where he came from, or something stupid like that. Anyway, stupid, just blabbing at the mouth when you're redneck, don't matter. Before that, he lost to Jimmy Flick by flying triangle choke. Fantastic for Jimmy Flick. Bad for Cody Durden, but fantastic for Jimmy Flick. Before that, he had a draw against Chris Gutierrez. That was his UFC debut. Chris Gutierrez is not a bad guy to have a draw against. It's a draw. Draw is a draw is a draw. And before that, to get into the UFC, he beat this guy John Sweeney in the NFC National Fight Championships. That's a regional scene out of Georgia. That's where he trained. He was training out of ATT Atlanta, but in preparation for this fight, his camp was at ATT Coconut Creek, the big boy ATT, not the one in Atlanta, the one in down Coconut Creek. And he did have a shout out at the end of one of his Instagram videos. He shouted out who he's been training with. Douglas Lima, Tony Gravely, Juan Porta, Danny Sabatello, who is a Bellator fighter. So he's been putting it in for sure. Cody Durden, JP Buys, I don't know. I know he's been putting in, but I don't know if he hasn't mentioned anyone he's been training with. All his training pictures are just him solo and his sad, broken-hearted eyes. It bothers me. I feel ya, JP. I feel ya. I've had my heart broken as well. You'll get past it, my friend. You'll get past it. Cody Durden is an accomplished high school wrestler. Actually, Cody Durden was given a scholarship to go wrestle at West Point. That's the Army. That's West Point Army Military College. But he had to turn the scholarship down because he had a kid. So what did he do? He manned up, went out and got a construction job, which when he's not fighting and he doesn't have a camp, he still does that construction work, put food on the table, got to raise that kid, manned up. I respect that as a father myself. Cody Durden, you made the right move. Full ride scholarship to West Point to wrestle because I told you, he's an accomplished wrestler, and he took his Georgia high school team to state championships like 3 times in a row. He went to the finals once but lost, and he won like sectionals and area championships, but he was never like the champ of, he never won a state championship, but he did bring his team there to win state championships 2 or 3 times, I think. It was like East High School or something in Georgia. I forgot exactly the town's, the city's name, but anyway, regardless, this is going to be a very interesting fight. So Cody Durden, 31 years old, JP Buys, 26. The height and reach, they have the same reach. Cody Durden has 2 inches of height. Nothing doing there.
So F.
Let's see. Let's start with and you know what? This line flipped. Cody Durden opened up. I have him written down as a -125 favorite, and JP Buys was a +100. Now it's flipped. JP Buys is the favorite, -122. Cody Durden's a +102. Interesting there. So we'll start with the favorite in JP Buys. Taking JP Buys, we've got Dev the Dude and Cell. Both agree. But Cell biased because he is from South Africa.
Alright, small.
That's where JP Buys is from. So I think he is a little bit biased there. Dev also taking JP Buys to get it done. Then over here we've got Bert MMA on the side of Cody Durden. He said Durden should get a decision over JP Buys. It's pronounced Bays. I'm sorry, I keep saying Buys. That's how it's spelt phonetically, but it's Bays. JP Bays. Cheyenne Flismus. Okay. Also taking JP Bays, we've got it's your boy eBays. It's your boy eBays fight predictions, also on the side of JP Bays.
Okay, so we got
Then we've got Vlad, celebrities and classics. Fight does not go the distance. Ooh, he's actually saying fight does not go. So he's taking the under. Over 2.5 is -175. He's finally taking some plus money here. Fight does not go.
Okay, I just gotta write.
And he's siding with Cody Durden. Reg, if I have to take a side, I take Cody Durden. I appreciate that, Vlad. And finally, for the tiebreaker, we got Angelo from We Want Picks. And Angelo is taking the side of Cody Durden. And he thinks Cody Durden does have a little bit better fight experience and resume. He's been in the UFC a little bit longer. With JP Buys 0-2. Not a good look. 0-2 in the UFC. Cody Durden, an American. I mean, JP Bays from South Africa, the scene. JP Bays, I will hand it to him, he was a 2-time African wrestling champ, like South African wrestling champ or something in his weight class. But I mean, how great are how good is your competition? Cody Durden got a scholarship to West Point that he couldn't go because he had a kid, but still, fantastic. He had like his high school record was like, I don't know exactly, but I want to say it was like 100 and some 130 and I don't know, 160 and 30 or something. He had definitely over 100 victories and like around 30 losses. I know it was pretty phenomenal. I was like, oh, not bad at all for Cody Durden. So in this case, despite my sympathy for JP Bay's heartbreak and stuff, I don't know if he's fully got past that point in his life. I know he's definitely trying. He's out. He bought a dog life. He's a dog dad. He's living the Vegas life, like, but it's just I still think the heartache is still there a little bit. He hasn't really completely moved on. I think that's haunting him. He's got to get over that, and I don't think he's going to do it yet. I think Cody Durden's going to win here. Cody Durden, 2 kids of his own, no problems at home as far as I know. And as I mentioned, he turned down a full ride scholarship to raise his one kid to go out and get a construction job. Hard working man, I like that. So I'm going to take Durden to get it done. Yeah, man, JP buys, here's the thing. Also, JP buys, before I get, Bruno Silva took him down like 5 times. Montel Jackson took him down like 5 times. So like, you watch Stat Diggers, and they list his stats, and he has bad, like, takedown defense. He was a standout in South Africa or whatever, but it didn't translate good to the UFC because he keeps getting taken down or was it knockdowns? Knockdowns. I think knockdowns, not takedowns. I'm sorry. He's been knocked down. He got knocked down like 5 times with Bruno Silva and 5 times with Montel Jackson. He didn't get finished, but he did get for Montel Jackson, but he did get knocked down like 5 times. Bruno Silva took him out in round 2. I think Cody Durden stand up should be able to out do him on the feet and on the ground. That's why I'm taking Cody Durden. I think he's going to beat him any way it goes, but I do sympathize for JP. But I think Cody Durden get it done within distance, inside the distance. I don't know if it's going to be ground and pound or a club and sub. So right now I'm just going to say within distance. Tapology, I'll fill that out after the weigh-ins, but I'll probably do something like Durden, TKO round 3, something, I don't know. But to recap!
Time check!
Unreal. It's 7:30, go to bed. To recap, I'm way over too. I've got Jinh Frey winning a decision over Vanessa Demopoulos. Then I have Mario Bautista beating Brian Kelleher, also by decision. Good night.
Take it!
And finally, I have Cody Durden finishing poor old JP Bay's inside the distance. I think it's going to be either knockdown to ground and pound or knockdown to club and sub. It's one of the two. Probably more likely the TKO ground and pound, I would imagine. But Cody Durden should win that. So there you have it. Gather the info. Place the bets and cash those tickets. Thanks for watching. Give me that thumbs up. Go ahead and fill the comments with anything you want to say regarding these 3 fights. Subscribe if you haven't done that. And good luck on your bets. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with another set of more prelim breakdowns from Capra Comparison Picks.
Bye!
Bye.